another game right here. Let me type to go real quick. Start a little bit too soon. My apologies. We will be having a slightly lower level prospect game today. Looks like it might be bugged out. We might just skip straight to spectating the game. Actually, yeah, we will. Unfortunately, we're gonna see picks and bans. It is a slightly lower level lobby. Still decent overall, though. We have some premier players here. We have Domum, Abrasive, DJL4, Kojan, Smeef versus Zinfius, Vash, Uncle Fable, Dutma, and DGLIM. Bit odd of names. I don't know. I don't really recognize all of them. There we are. Started. Now mids in the middle. Carries at bottom. Solos at top. There we are. Alright, looking at the builds here. Dang, it got messed up. Maybe try to move him. Whoops. Oh well. Very thinner starts. Boots rush on Guan is a bit odd. Not really the best start you can do. But there are worse. Odd that they rush Hog. I guess they'll come in the lane early, which is a decent thing. But I don't know if it's really necessary, honestly. A lot of pings kind of for red team. I think they're just kind of trolling. Oh. What if these supports go more for, like I said before, horrific? Emblem was probably better. Overall, I mean, it's just a better item, period, I think, right now, for in terms of peeling. And it also allows you to be aggressive. And it's just better, period. Yeah, you did get the pressure in lane, but I think you might have been better off maybe holding a minion or two. Creating wave pressure, but I suppose it's both at the same time. It just only favors Dom. Puts the pressure on. I think he should hold on to his one there, and probably close minions. With the lower levels, I'm trying to do more of analysis and like pointers rather than casting every single thing. Just so players can help. Uncle Babe doing a lot of damage here, almost falling down, but not just not quite hitting the mark to kill him. He is fairly low, however, which means the team should have pressure in lane leading here on out. Ooh, Ganesha Dash caught out here. They really could have progressed there and gotten a lot of damage off. I guess they're more focused on the wave there. Ganesha now out of mana though. I mean, they should have consistent pressure here late. They're really looking for whatever they can, I guess, on the blue team. I don't think they need a lot of pressure. Ooh, DJL4 taking a lot of damage. Giannis falling down very low here. Almost falling down to the enemy team here. Not quite, but should be forced back here. Vantos just not there to help out his mid laner. Will be looking at these oracles. Red team easily could have regressed onto him and caught him out here, but it looks like they just won't do it. They should also know the red buff's coming up, and they should look for that as well, but they just aren't taking the win if they could. Instead, we'll just fall back to their own red buff. Bit odd decision making there. Dom gains some decent damage here over in the solo lane, but not quite enough to make the Guan Yu fall. Once Guan Yu hits 5 though, Guan Yu should win lane. Just because of the pressure he can bring with his ultimate. Looks like blue team will be looking for invade here. But red team spotting it out. Look, they will be rotating in. Blue team likely can be caught out of position here. Abrasive not taking too much damage, but it looks like Abrasive should be called down for first blood going to red team to Uncle Fable. Getting first blood here, that's fairly big for the enemy ADC. Really catching back up from that loss of lead, really catching up from that lead that the Hu Yi had. Now Hu Yi being bottom of the play of net worth charts. Really unfortunate there for him. Because Apollo ahead can be a really oppressive lane bully. Not one of the most oppressive ones, but he can be oppressive. I would like to see Thana not do the douche move and just insta clear this buff before Dom gets a chance to get any farm. Hopeful, guys. Looks like pressure happening over here in the dual lane. It looks like Doom will fall down here. Uncle Fable almost getting cut off by that ultimate. If he got cut off there, he likely would have fallen as well. Merlin should bring better teamfight presence. See, I think Merlin's actually good depending on the pick he gets put into. Merlin's a much later game god than what he used to be, just because of how many items he needs online to really hit that power spike. But if Merlin can get to the point where he comes online, he's an absolute monster. I think Dama uses his ultimate probably a little too aggressive. There's a good dash to dodging the Thor ultimate. Should really ult here to get out. He probably should have ulted first and dash does get the beat down. He probably should go back in there. Thor likely could have caught him out there and killed him. He's playing a very risky game here with the Guan Yu ultimate being up. Guan Yu likely could easily ult him and kill him right now. Ooh, looks like Dom will fall down here. He's being way too aggressive here. He needs to back out. Getting stunned here. Really misplay here by a red team. They likely could have killed him there, but they just really misplayed that there. Ymir Wall just a little bit off the mark, not able to catch him out. And it looks like they're doing a reducing here onto the Ymir. Ymir getting caught out, taking a lot of damage here. Missing the stun though. Does get pulled in, and Ymir ultimate going off. Dom could dash in there, doing some decent damage, recognizing the Thor is out of mana. But just backing out, taking the small win against his solo lane partner. Abrasive being a little bit too aggressive here. Just not taking the win. Uncle Fable taking a lot of damage here from Hu Yi, forcing out the dash. Thanatos ult coming out as well. And Uncle Fable gets deleted by the Thanatos Hu Yi ult and falls down very quickly. Really big wins all around for blue team. Everyone's really far ahead right now, honestly. I have no idea who Wad's players are. I have not seen anyone play on the side of red team play before, and I know like three people play on the side of blue team. We have a lot of new players down this league. Interesting note though, Uncle Fable is ahead in stacks, which is actually really big for him. He should still be ahead gold-wise, right? Yeah, he is. Looks like a little skirmish might break out here in mid, but it looks like neither team is going to force it. I think on paper should win this 3v3, just with Merlin damage being greater than Giannis damage. Smeef getting a kill over here in the solo lane. Blink being used by Dom. He's a bit off there. I don't think that was necessary. Maybe someone take a tower shot, but I think he was fairly safe. He should recognize the Thor was just spotted out in mid lane. He was safe to keep farming. However, dashing onto this wave, this game might have been a little dangerous. Ganesha ults for it. Just a bit odd of pathing from Dom. He should have went with his jungler. Now he could be caught out here if any team was actually rotating. He was actually rotating to punish him, but they're just not. So Kojane's taking a lot of damage here, being forced out of it. I think he used his beast to get out of that situation. Now they have a decent bit of pressure back in the dual lane again. Dom getting very far ahead in the solo lane. I would like to see him do something with this lead. He should be fairly close to Mystical Man. I'm surprised he doesn't have enough yet, honestly. Yeah, how far is he off? Bluestone plus Greaves, that's 650. Too much math, I don't want to do it. It should be like 300, 400 gold off. Maybe it just sticks around for another wave. I think that's probably the better play there. How much gold do you have in hand? That's a better way of looking at this. Yeah, he sticks around one more wave and he gets it. That's probably the better play. I think you stick around for that mystical mail. Because that is me first back here. Misses the root, misses the dash, hits the ultimate, but nothing. He's chasing a little bit too hard. He's getting a little kill greedy here. I mean, he could force the Guan Yu to back, I suppose. But he's not really going to gain anything from this pressure here. Oh, they are looking for an invade here, but if he had back already for his mystical male free will coming in, they should recognize that nobody's, everyone's missing here. They are going to get cut out here. Ultimate used by the Ganesha, really burning down the Dom. 2 ultimates used, 3 ultimates used. And it looks like Dom is extremely low now. Walks into the fire and falls down. Zinfi is out of mana, however, but it looks like nobody's following up. Thana up in the air, and he's looking for a kill here. And looks like he's not going to catch anything at all. Doesn't catch a kill. He might have looked at the Souling Tower, but in the end, I think this is kind of a loss for blue team. Thana going in by himself. Nobody in his team backing up. Looks like a miscommunication here. Giannis looking for some damage, but not really all that useful, honestly. I think just walk in and hit that tower, that's a bigger win, but blue team kind of throwing there by not following up on their solo and by not following up on their jungler. Looks like Uncle Fable is invading this purple buff here. Should be able to strip it away. And it is a small win for him there. I think from appearance, it looks like blue team might be better players on average, while red team's better at communicating. Thorol coming in, missing, hitting the purple buff. Unfortunate, really wanting this, pinging out the attack, but Thor just not willing to go through with it here. If he has blink, he could have done. He didn't have blink, so he couldn't do it without likely dying in return for the kill. All that might have been worth it. Get your jungler behind, but get your carry ahead. Just not the worst trick in the world. Typically, your jungler ahead, but if you play the role of mediator, you could get yourself behind it in the effort to get the rest of your team ahead. It's very close to how Pantom plays this game. He's not the flashiest jungler, but he does very well with the way he plays the game. He really just tries to get his jungler, but his mid and his carry ahead, and sacrifices his own farm and life for it. Dom looking for another invade here, getting a lot of pressure in the soul lane, really putting this Guan Yu behind. It's very much so outplaying this Guan Yu. Having a lot of pressure. Surprised red doesn't continue on this assault. Dom uses his blink, but might have been a mistake here. Nobody following up quite yet on the side of red team. He's not in any real danger of dying. He needs to back out now, or he could be in trouble very soon. He will get out safely here, however, and will just kind of hover in solo. Honestly, I forget the Scorpion assists half the time in solo. It's kind of unimportant, unfortunately. All the time you just lose more health killing it than you do game back. And offers like as much XP as like a single archer does. It's not really worth a whole lot. Blue team does successfully invade the red buff though, so blue team's starting to get very far ahead. Uncle Fable nearby, and Giannis taking a decent bit of poke, so is the Ganesha in return. And it looks like neither team is massively far ahead. I mean, blue team is ahead, but I think almost all of it has to do with the solo lane here. 7,400 to 5,900, almost entire goal lead is just in the hands of their solo laner. I guess the 1k around the best players. Between your mid, okay, Giannis out of mana. Dom taking a lot of damage here. Yam will fall down to DJLM. Kojin's getting killed right back, but he will be forced out here. Kojin's being forced out of the fight. Abrasive super low, nowhere in sight for his team. Moonwalking through the jungle, and it looks like he will fall down to Basher, who should be able to get the kill here. Getting a double kill. And it looks like Thana will try to continue looking for a kill here, but Giannis out of mana kind of on his own. So you will make it out safely, but they could look for an objective. Feels a little risky here. Phantos being forced out of the fight, and red team really gaining nothing from said fight other than a couple kills. Gold swing moves minorly towards red team by 200 gold. Nothing too large of a win for them. And back to farming again to the next Gold Fury fight. I wouldn't mind blue team looking to force a Pyromancer fight, honestly. I think that's not a bad idea. They are ahead as is, and forcing a Pyromancer fight might be a little bit safer than a Gold Fury, but I don't think they even lost that fight because of Gold Fury damage. I think they just got cut out of position. Got caught black. Bastion, decent damage over here. Nothing really happening. He's really looking for a gank onto him. He likely just force out the ultimate, misses the stun. Does force out the ultimate, but not a whole lot gained from that, honestly. Dom's ult was traded out for his ult, and it's not too big of a win for them, honestly. It's kind of a loss given the 2v1. Gold Fury started up here. Nobody's nearby on blue team. Blue team finally slowly just start moving in. Huyi ult is used and forcing them off the objective. Doom falls down. Zinfi is very low, misses the side, but he's being chased down now. Good stun out of the floor here. Thanatos speeds are used, and he's continuing the chase, but he might not be able to catch it out in time. Blink coming up soon, taking a lot of damage to the wall very early, I guess, and he should fall down here to the Thana, who will fall down as well in return. Really chasing way too hard here for that kill. Now they're slowly rotating anywhere nearby to help out in this engagement, and just a 2-for-1 trade, but taking so long that it's back down to 4-4. Dom over in mid lane looks to get a solo kill onto Vash, and Vash is extremely low. Thor up in the air looking to dunk out on his team. Bracer should be taking the objective here, and Thor might just rotate in, just falls right back down, does nothing instead. And it looks like it will be a win here for blue team, taking this objective very handedly. Vash doesn't fall, but he makes Thor question his choice long enough that it just goes too late. It looks like the teams continue their advances. I'll go Fable taking decent damage. Thor, nice wall from the Ymir here. Ganesh ult comes in. Dom pushed up way too far by himself. It looks like Dom will fall down in return. He seems nowhere nearby. He should have recognized that he was by himself. And he does fall down. And now red team looking to go grab a Pyromancer, it appears. Should be a fairly free objective for them. I don't really see much potential for blue team is still that way, and red team does secure the Pyromancer. Very free objective for them to gain. I think my audio is fine. Oh well. They will get the Greater Scorpion as well. So like I said, just pretty decent wins overall for them. Looks like they will just continue going back to farming again. Red team down 3k goal behind. Most difference and solo is now gone. Biggest leads are in mid and jungle, with a small lead in carry. Very small lead, especially in terms of net worth. XP lead's much bigger in terms of favor for blue team though, instead over the gold lead. Looks like we do hit a pause here. Luckily, I can just fast forward. It's a very long pause, apparently. Oh gosh. kind of waiting for him to reconnect. 16 times speed now. Still waiting. I guess to analyze. Whereas like the nerf center actually do a lot of the work late game, hitting for like 300 per hit for true damage, which is absolutely insane. Holy crap, this is a long pause. Sorry for this. Race it way too far, honestly. Thanos diving on his NP is no real punishment here. His NP is falling down very quickly to Thanos. Honestly, Race it goes too far forward. No punishment though from Red Team though. Apollo up in the air. Thor out of mana. It's not a good fight for Red Team whatsoever. Uncle Fable does not want to dive in, especially if he's putting levels into his ultimate after the recent nerf. And it looks like they're going to chase down Vash here, but just nothing really quite catching. Can't really quite catch him. And Dom very far forward ahead of his team. Shell is used. Looks like he's going to transform here. Continue to chase onto the backline, I think. Catching out the catch by the Giannis here. And it looks like Red Team's on the run. Blue Team continue to chase rather than looking for an objective or anything else. Really hungry for these kills. Chasing honestly for too long here. Thanos getting a solo kill over there onto the Vash. And it looks like they're all over here onto the Phoenix far way too far forward. These I gets used by the Giannis. And it looks like Blue Team will be forced out here. Calling out the attack onto the T2 tower. Kojin's not even hitting it. And they will be forced out and left running. No actual win for Blue Team other than just getting some kills. They easily could have taken the T2 tower in mid and walk back to Fire Giant, but instead they decided to go chase off the kills here. And that'll be all the one they get. Looks like they're seeming to look for a pick here in mid. Kojin's team drove on very heavily, taking a lot of damage. Looks like Thor's up in the air. No, Thanatos, my bad. And looks like he takes a lot of damage here. Eating way too much poke. Falls down to Smeef, who's doing so much work on this Thanatos. Ganesha caught out of position once again, taking a lot of damage. Merlin really slowing him down. DJL4 just having no mana remaining. Looking for this last kill, the auto does get the kill. And it looks like Blue Team's still in the driver's seat, though almost everybody's out of mana. Honestly, Red Team want to force the fight, and now is the time. But at this point, they're all dead and so far behind. I don't think they can compete anymore. They're so far behind in XP. And now, Blue Team should really be looking for an objective here. They are they're in a very commanding position in terms of objectives. They could easily start taking them all with no problem whatsoever. Domim and Yana is having a very big presence in this game. They're really what's running the map. Full team diving down onto Domim, forcing out his beats here. He is on the run, only down though, looks like half health. Very tanky target to be hitting right now, especially as Mail Renewal healing back up, I think. This is on the buff patch, right? 10%, yep. Only 250 health gain. Fight being started here by the Fire Giant, looking for the kill here. And it looks like a big fight happening now. They're really forcing this objective. Trying to look this onto Vash. No real picks gotten yet. Thanos goes down onto Vash, look at the size, misses the size. Thanos will pull down in return. Thor up in the air. Thor should just run away, and that is a big win here for Red Team. Losing nobody in return for one. But Blue Team are relatively healthy, and looks like they're going to start this objective here. A very risky objective to go for, knowing that most of the Red Team's also extremely healthy. Dama very low, can be diving still. Merlin misses his kit though, and now Vash is diving in way too far by himself. And Vash might just fall here down to the Eol. The slowest Vash is still on the run. Vash will get away. Yana is forcing out the blink here, and that's all that will occur. Dom very far up in the enemy jungle for being only level 16. Dom healing up on his Mail Renewal actually likely just saving his life there. And will be forced to run away. Gojan is currently soloing the Gold Fury here, but getting spotted by Uncle Fable. possible kill here for Uncle Fable, honestly, if he was smart. Knowing that he just took all that poker there from the Primal Fury. Surprised to see he drops it, knowing that his team's rotating as well is really odd of a play, honestly. They were in a pretty good position for it. Honestly, he could have even chased out the kill onto Kojans, who had just taken a lot of poke from Primal and just had that debuff on him. Smeef eating a lot of damage here. The Pyromancer will have to drop and likely will have to back as well. Oh wait, I forgot. Thanatos heals from everything that dies, so he'll probably fully HP off the stand on the side practical. He still will back though, and it looks like Dom really needs to farm here. He's fairly far behind from how much he's been rotating. Big problem with solo laners is just balancing rotation and farm. That kinda just staring at his blue buff. I don't really know what's going on there. Alright. You just having a staring contest, see who blinks first, I guess. Looks like Cody's still far ahead. Uncle people pushing up this tower. Blue team not really able to rotate out to stop him, because if they do, he just ults away. And then they just go on to the objective. Braceb a little far forward. Still no punishment to him whatsoever. It looks like they found Uncle Fable picking him out here. Really from the poke into him, and he should fall down here very quickly. Surprised he doesn't even try ulting away when he could have. He falls down to Giannis, and it looks like Blue Team will be able to show this objective now. Really a waste of a blink from Dom. I know you might be thinking he's zoning use for it, but there's always an instant that you could use that blink for zoning, for chasing down something, while catching Dom on that spot, taking a lot of damage from Fire Giant. Dom chasing out the wrong person there. He should be looking for this Merlin coming around the backside. Blue team does secure the FG, but it looks like Merlin doing a lot of work here, killing and killing the Smeef. Beats Ike is used by the Merlin all in one now. Gets caught off by the Giannis, only taking a lot of damage here. He will be stuck. Gets a double kill, gets killing the Giannis as well. And this is an overall win for. It's about even, honestly. Ooh, Vash falls on here. This could be fairly bad. Vash's ultimate does get used, so they're diving onto Koji. Koji's taking a lot of damage here. And it looks like he will turn on Dom. A big wall from the Emir here. And it looks like he's taking way too much damage. Merlin back in for the rotation here. And looks like taking a lot of poke. Dom taking a lot of damage himself. Thoro off the mark. His Dom, though, with a wall stun. Looks like Vash may just fall here, but the Uncle Fable rotating with his ultimate. As if he gets down with another kill. Doing a lot of work here mid. Very huge player. And that is overall, I think, a win for blue team. I mean, red team. Blue team may have gotten Fire Giant, but they also lost 3 players with that Fire Giant. So we're all very far ahead in terms of goal, except Dom. I think overall, this is just a win for red team. Ganesh ult is used for nothing, for no reason at all. Taking a lot of damage that Giannis ult. Holy crap, taking a lot of damage. Chunking him. Blue team could look for objectives here, but they really have to play around their carry and support now. The only people remaining with Fire Giant, although their carry does now have Deathbringer, which is a very huge power spike for him. He's in a good position, honestly. They're in a decent position to look for these T2 towers. If you want to take towers, all you really need is your carry. Blue team currently just running it down, looking for any picks they can really get here. Nothing too large though. Going to this Primal Fury, but it looks like Nesh is walking up for it. Honestly, extremely risky to do it. Though his ultimate down gets caught out here. He could actually do the Emir wall, however, but he's taking a lot of damage here. Banjo's all down onto the Ganesh. Ganesh will fall down. Koji's getting the kill. Emir here, I mean, 4 in the background. The guy in the background gets ultimate from keeping E out, and the Giannis ult used as well. Still alive, however, and he will force out the chase for a while here. Misses the stun. If he hits that, I think he makes it out here alive, but he may just get caught now. He will put out a Kojin to chase him for for a while, buying his team just a little bit of time for respawn timers. Unless you're really walking up too far, that ultimate does not do as much damage as he appears to think it does. Spectral also, the third item, is a little bit odd for support. And I don't know if I quite like Compassion right now. Rushing Compassion, if it's all your magical procs, you only have 110 coming out for you. And you're just really not that tanky in terms of magical damage right now. The biggest thing is that you only take 15% of that damage, and then you mitigate that yourself from your own procs. So you're taking it through like 2 rounds of protections to get through. But if you have no major procs for it, you are just eating damage for free. This doesn't do no procs actually along my fight. Dom point out very quickly here. Looks like team's really on the bad end of this engagement here. Then if he gets the double kill, looks like Smith will fall down next. Blue team really running it down now, really in a commanding position here. Successfully defending that D2 tower. Blue team really is banging off more than they could chew. Brace being chased out here by the Apollo. Looks like Apollo went for Kojans instead. Likely might get this kill being hit. Those autos, I guess, is used, and it looks like he will get out, but Abrasive should fall instead here. Nice wall out from Abrasive. Looks like he will save his own life. Spam life. I think this is what he says. Actually, I don't think spam laughing. I think he just says Ymir's invincible whenever he loses speed. And it looks like Red Team will get the chance to do this objective now. It's a fairly good position for them to be in. They're now very far ahead in terms of objective here, not in terms of golden XP. XP is slowly shrinking though, everyone's level 20, but XP difference no longer matters. And it looks like they will shoot this objective up here. And Red Team very quickly burns down. Red Team now in a commanding position. Bash on the run. I think they're chasing way too far here as Abrasive is. And he's very far forward, taking a decent bit of poke. Red Team can get in there just a little bit faster. Domum very far up as well. Giannis in the backline looking for Zenfees here. They're heavily diving him. It looks like Bash is diving as well. Way too far by himself. Barely living, getting 2 shells used out on his team. And now Thor is up in the air looking for probably, if he can, dives onto nobody instead. And Smith does get the kill onto Vash. Now Blue Team in a good position, really running this fight now. It looks like Uncle will fall down next. Now Blue Team in a commanding spot. It's just whoever gets Fire Giant loses the game, apparently so. Abrasive now continuing the dive here. Dude, Ganesha fairly low, almost getting cut out with the stun here. He has a decent bit of poke. Smith misses the side. And it looks like he will fall down to Giannis. Now it's a 0-for-3 trade. All of everyone on Red Team losing out on the Fire Giant here. Thor way too far forward and will be cut out as well. And now Blue Team completely in a commanding position. Should be able to look for this mid tower here. And maybe even able to end the game at 31 minutes in. With everyone on a 30-second timer, if they can burn out his objective, they might just be able to end the game. Zenfeus really needs to get in there, throwing some damage all he can. Using purple stance. Fire stance is probably the worst stance to be in right now. Holy crap, that's a terrible stance to be in. He really needs a purple stance. Blue Team backing off. I think they had a chance of ending there. Maybe just I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself. I'm too greedy of a player myself. But I think that a decent chance. Thanos calling attack the objective. Everyone else says no thank you. And they all walk away. Just good win for them. Blue Team getting a big win right there. Now 7k. I'm at 6k ahead. Both middle laners doing a lot of work in these team fights. Really just the enemy carry isn't able to do quite as much, and same thing for solo laners. Dom's just doing more work when he's diving than Vash is. Vash is really overextending, and when Dom's overextending, he's just not really getting punished for it. Because Merlin's so focused on hitting the backliners, he's not doing enough damage to Dom him to really punish him for his overextension. Looks like another fight occurring here. Dom taking a lot of damage, overextending once again. Like I said before, he will get out though. He is going to shell use onto him to save his life. And it looks like it's overall just a win for him. Looks like Vash eating a lot of damage here. Thanatos diving onto the Ganesha. And Vash should make it out safely here. Thor spotted out, but doesn't use Aegis very preemptively along with the Beast. So he will fall down to Giannis, who no longer desires to go get that objective in the University Final for that primal here. It looks like the blue team's going to be diving the enemy red team here. Running down to the Phoenix, despite the fact that T2 Tower is still up. They likely should be clearing this first. Do equip the T2 Tower, and likely they should now back off to that primal if they want to play it safe and smart. But instead, it looks like blue team's just backing here. Not really looking to take any other win while they're at it. Taking root upon the enemy red buff getting taken away. Abrasive backing here. Zenfi is spotting out Kojames, not knowing where else is at though, so you won't go for anything else here. Red team not really in a position to be aggressive anymore. They really need to be on the back foot for everything at this point. I'm sorry, this noise break that might happen in a second. I should just mute myself. Red team almost lost their Phoenix due to just Winions over on the side of blue team. I don't know if you guys saw that huge wave over there where there's like 3 waves piled up, slowly building up on that side of the map. Overall, despite blue team being winning most of the engagements, it hasn't been a very clean game for them. They've been in the lead, but they haven't been like dominating. And now everybody has their starter items online, and curious to see how these fights end up going. Surprised to see nobody's able to quite sell the boots. Ooh, a lot of damage. Fast being cut out here, taking a lot of damage here. Dom Abrasive all taking damage as well from Merlin. To be honest, Aegis is used, and red team I think just won that trade out here. Did they? I guess they got an item for nothing other than 2 ultimates and 1 ultimate, I suppose. Small one for them. Dom very low in HP here. This is a very risky fight to keep going for here. Minions flooding into the mid lane, and it looks like they should lose this tower here. Uncle Fail backing off here, and the moment they see him gone, they will likely just go and push the deck, push the fight themselves here. Abrasive setting up way too far here by himself. Gets a good stun down on DJLM. DJLM's beats are used. Dom gets a big knockup. Is forced out of the fight here, but it changes into his race stance, diving back in, looking for an ultimate. Does pull absolutely nobody's speed. Shutting down Zenfi is Uncle Fail approaching and just a little bit too late. Uncle Abrasive should fall down here, but they just can't quite connect those autos. Abrasive getting out, Coach is getting a kill onto the Ganesha here. Thor diving very heavily onto the Abrasive. They're choosing the wrong targets here. Getting another kill on Uncle Fail himself, and it looks like Uncle Bash will fall down as well. Now it's just Thor to defend off 4 people. And it looks like we'll look to pick up his objective and end the game here. Very clean fight on the side of blue team. Very sloppy on the side of red. Very poor targeting communication during those fights. I wouldn't mind seeing Dom go over here just push these waves real quick for the team to sort of flood right on in. But I suppose they're not in too much of a rush. They do have 20 seconds to end the game here against just the Thor. And it looks like they will be doing just that, running down the mid lane here. This Thor defends too hard here. He will die. If he throws out that, he's very sensitive to being killed now. Thanatos up in the air, looking to dive onto the Thor. Thor will be caught out here, taking a lot of damage from the Thanatos. They're using the Aegis here. Aegis is such a weak, it's such a beta active to get if you're a jungler. Taking a lot of damage onto Coach James. Aegis used as well, falling down very quickly, and it looks like Xenophus might be here to back up them for taking on this Titan. Down taking decent damage from Mayo and Duel, really just healing back his health versus the Ganesh ultimate. And it looks like blue blue team will just take the win. They won't be able to end the game. They'll just get forced to back off. They may look for an objective here with the Gold Fury, but overall not. The most dominating win for Enhanced Fire Giant. I think if Dom pushed up that wave, I think they end there most of the time, but
let's see you shift.
I don't know, maybe they just focus too much onto Thor. Big power sniper to come out for Coach Hans with this elixir power. For Brace's positioning being so aggressive, he's not getting much value out of what he's doing. Which is very unfortunate. Brace up diving down onto Vash here. Vash very tanky though. He will be forced to ult away. Nothing too large gain out of the losing on the one he won't. Looks like Thor ulted or just dived in right there. He did ult in, and Thor's just really out of position now. He should like ult down here. Beats are using this put up instantly, wasted beats, waste of a life, and that should be game right there. Now there's a pick out right here in position once again. The blue team diving in. Giannis ult off the mark, but it looks like he does not care, diving in very heavily. Brace getting stun off onto the Apollo Thunder Spear is used. And the dive continues. Unfaithful super low, being forced out of the fight here. Does hold down to Smeef, and it looks like this may just be game. Zenfy is super low, currently on the run. Last hope falls down. And now it's just Bash, and that should defend off 2 fire waves, and the blue team and blue Titan will fall down to the blue team. Blue team taking game 1 here from this prospect games. That's a fairly big win there for them. Just in terms of damage, the mid laners did very well. Kojan's getting more value out of his who he picked than the Apollo, just doing more work in the team fights. Junglers, Smeef had better targeting than DJ, than the Thor did. He really just hit the right targets rather while Thor was hitting more of the tanks. Dom doing way more damage. To be fair though, he did have Mystical Mail, which is kind of just free damage. When you say round 3 puts 120 damage per second, it's a little unfair comparison. And Abrasive just kind of playing in between. He was really often being the instigator for these fights, which really should make it easy for Thor to dive along with Vash, but I suppose the 2 backliners, just Giannis is very hard to dive in himself, and Kojan's positioning very well. I suppose they just couldn't quite get it down. Couldn't quite get those kills. And we will be entering the next game here in just a moment. Sorry, I will mute myself for just a moment. We are back. We are back again in the game. We are into the second game of this set for the prospect games. Same teams, they mess up their picks in the drafts now. It's kind of just picking the gods. So I guess we're just going to skip spectating here. Looks like interesting picks around this time. Xing Shen is picked up, and Athena does get through for the side of the red team, along with King Arthur and Honor. These are very strong picks, especially the Scylla. Weakest pick just being Mercury here, and it looks like I really favor blue team, and we're starting in the middle of the game, I suppose. Is this the earliest we can get in? Yep, this is where we're stuck watching. I apologize. Hmm. To sum up what I think happened, it looks like Dom had a very, very strong presence in the lane here. He got very far ahead very early on. Nope, we're still got 5 minutes. I'm assuming they start spectating. Unfortunate. Although it does come out, hits the mark onto DJLM. Taking a lot of damage. Looks like Bash falls down to Smeef once again on the Tsukiyomi. Very strong pick here. Dom running back as he call on solo, and he's very far ahead. It is very rare to see King Arthur who is losing this hard. Usually King Arthur's hard ones like Dom with another kill catch on the Mercury as the back camps here. And it looks like blue team just falling apart at the seam, still falling down as well on his Smeef. And that's a lot of kills down for red team. Very far ahead already. Everyone's just kind of winning lane this time around, except for dueling, which is fairly even. Smeef able to invade this red camp here. Can they out secure the Nina though? Does not out secure the Nina though. Does lose out in red buff. Does not successfully invade it, but still a strong presence from Bolt coming in onto the honor here. Maybe able to save his carry, but it looks like it's an even trade on the Fable and Smeef. It's a good trade for him. Smeef very far ahead, getting a shutdown for him. Small goalie goes to honor now. But on the other hand, he does die, so that's not the greatest trade in the world. Dom should really be looking to aggress onto the King Arthur's blue buff where he's 3 levels ahead, knowing that blue team's just so far behind that they really can't step up to him. I suppose he doesn't have his mystical mail yet. Surprisingly, he doesn't have that. He definitely could have it, he just hasn't backed. Lazy. He really should have his mystical mail. If he has that, he can just kind of invade and do whatever he wants at this point, because mystical mail just hits way too hard on him to handle. And looks like blue team's draft is a very good one, but also they're very poor coming back from behind game. Ooh, strong all here from Abrasive, but a good dive back from Mercury. Forcing himself to get any damage off. I'm a monster up in the air, looking to hit the stop and the small one, the big one's to the small one. And instead, because the I'm a monster goes on to nobody, instead it's an overall loss. Smeef runs back corner in a 2v1. Looking for a pick here on his Zenfius. Can't quite hit the autos here, but it looks like Zenfius will fall down regardless of Dom. Ultimate coming out of Smeef and a lot of damage onto Doom. And it's Bash getting caught out instead here. King Arthur very low on HP, misses the ultimate, and then you get the pick here. 3-for-0 trade for blue-red team here. Red team just snowballing out of control. Dama finally backs that mystical mail. Really should be looking for these blue buff invades here and back games. He's 3 levels ahead. How much gold? 2k ahead. He should be looking to invade as much as possible. Kojames doesn't quite have that presence yet to do that himself to invade and run this side of the map. But in mid, they're doing everything they can already correctly. They're putting pressure everywhere. The jungler is rotating a bunch where he's this lead. Really forcing this Mercury to either let all of his teammates fall behind or he'll just fall further behind himself. Mercury is here for this blue buff, which means that the enemy soul will fall further behind because he will be showing that XP instead of just getting it for himself like Domum is. Domum now pushing down his objective, looking for this blue buff invade like I like to see him do. But instead here, seeing that it's not up, he should have looked to proxy instead and then get his blue buff. allowing him to farm pretty safely now who's on any minions. Instead he's going for Totem here. I think proxying was a much better choice there. I think that then allows him to have a bunch of different options. He can look to invade middle lane. He can just go to his blue buff, get his back camps, then come back to lane again and invade again, proxy again. Get that totem, that's what he really wanted. He thought it was really important. He could have still gotten that. But instead, he just went back at totem and didn't get anything else with it. It doesn't really hurt him, but just improvements he could have made. Zenfius though is very far behind on his still. That really hurts. We've taken a lot of damage, getting blown very quickly. Now Monster hits him, taking out very quickly. Abrasive gets the ultimate off, and Monster coming back in again, hitting Thought, taking it down fairly low. Big Mercurial coming in, huge crush. I gets used, and it looks like Thought will fall down. Big win for blue team here. Dom coming in the rotation, doing a lot of damage on his Zenfius, forcing up the beats here. Zenfius taking a lot of damage, fall down very quickly. Zenfius might just fall to Mystical Melee blow. It looks like Dom will drop the chase though, and instead it looks like he's going down the Bash. Bash is getting extremely low as well. Dom taking basically no damage and loses the Bash. Dom could likely just stay near Bash and probably could have killed him. Bash having looked like what was like 40 HP. He probably did have something similar to that. And he likely could have gotten that kill there, but instead he decided not to keep chasing it out, and looks like Dom will take the small win. Actually, more like small loss rather than big loss. If Dom falls down, that's very bad for their team, and I guess it's an okay decision to back out there. It's not a bad one, for sure. No reason to take the risky play on those far ahead, I suppose. Looks like is Uncle Paper ahead, or he's just not by his back yet? I mean, it's going into head or something. Yeah, Ion just hasn't back. Okay, makes sense. Red team really positioned, really aggressive here, looking for an invade so they can, or a pick so they can go and get a kill here. Koji's taking a lot of damage here from the abrasive. Not quite falling down though. Zenfius getting locked down on. Oh, I thought this was Yuumi. Oh, my bad recall. Mercury rotating over now. Still just looking for any. Can Uncle Fable really wants to back here? This is very good by Red Team. Recognize that he has not back for a minute and really keep him out. We really should force that jump before they went for that ultimate. That was kind of a wasted ult from Abrasive. And it looks like blue team will start aggressing onto Abrasive here. Now he have to catch him out using his dash, and he does get out very safely. Dom should really look to rotate. He's 4 levels ahead. He does not need to sit there and babysit that Arthur to keep him rotating out. Really, the Arthur's doing his best by keeping Dom there. Dom rotating out with the best. Worst thing can happen for the Abrasive taking a lot of damage. Abrasive getting blown very quickly by Fable, and now the red team's on the retreat. Looks like the ultimate's coming in onto Kojans here. Mercury missing his ultimate. Mercury getting blown instantly. Huge Goth ult hitting 2 people right off the bat. Everyone falling down blue team very quickly. Bashing a lot of damage to the soul lanes, but Uncle Fable out of mana. Uncle Fable should fall down in just a moment here. Getting chased down by Kojans, and it looks like Dom gets a solo kill, and red team wins everything. This is an F6 if I've ever seen one. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't F6 obviously, but that just feels bad in that moment. Your mentals are crushed here. Goldfish shot up at red team. Red team not having the greatest objective burn, given that they have no crit yet. But passing it back and forth will allow them to do it fairly quickly. Greater Scorpion does kill Smeef. Smeef troll. Could have done this Gold Fury with him, gotten that instead. And it looks like red team will get this win here. Blue team's just really far behind everywhere. What is this? 8, almost 7k down in 15 minutes. 7k down, 8k XP difference. How much of it is just solo? 3k gold difference in just a solo lane. Domum really needs to be pushing this lead. Needs to be forcing down something with those rotations. They should be using Scorpion right now. Red team is in such a commanding spot. They could literally just do Scorpion right now and force this Pyromancer, kill this Pyromancer, and then force a fight for Fire Giant. Dom's so far ahead that he can do actually anything he wants to. And what he's deciding that he wants to do is keep farming a solo lane. which is probably the least valuable thing you can do right now. Looking for another pick on the Vash. We're having a lot of fun just chasing down kills here. It's really all he's doing. But blue team's not really punishing him for it. They're not doing anything about it. I suppose when you're losing everywhere, there's nothing you can do about it. Dom now rotating the mid lane finally. Uses his beads for nothing really. Halts in, forces out the Scylla dash, but that's about it. Athena should fall down here. I'm a monster off the mark, misses everyone. And it looks like Athena will fall down. Thankfully, there's no objective for red team to do because they didn't do anything to open up an objective. And instead, they could likely look to push down this T2 tower here in mid lane. But instead, they're just going to back off and leave their mid laner alone. Because we don't like objectives here, apparently. Ooh, Thoth very far up. Uncle Fable hits that stun. Thoth could have fallen down very easily. Unfortunately, those beats. Ultimate coming out from the on her. Aegis is used, and it looks like Mercury is used down, and Thoth should fall down. Beats are used here, and Thoth will fall down to Mercury. Mercury getting a big win right there. Tsukiyomi all coming in, hitting all 4 marks onto the Mercury. Mercury extremely low, will fall down. And it looks like it's a good stun off, but Smith should fall down just as well. Athena coming in here, and it shows up for a kill here, or a crush at least. Dom pushed up, though. Dom is extremely tanky right now. Any damage to the blue team can throw out really just tickles him at this point. Vash coming from the backline, but really just can't do anything here. In fact, it's just kind of soaking up XP at this point, doesn't even do anything with this rotation. Coaching is split pushing this whole time, takes on that T2 tower. Just continuing to get wins for red team here. Even with losing 1-for-1 trade, red team still favors out because they get the T2 tower. And they got that Scorpion. Or at least if you're looking for this Fire Mansion now, and then finally forcing that Fire Giant fight with their big gold lead, the 8k gold lead ahead. Likely do Pyromancer, do gold, and then fire probably is the safest call. Unless they get another big team fight win. When they're actually grouped up for once. Red team really should be grouping up more often, forcing more of these fights. They're so far ahead, that favors them most. Letting blue team farm actually hurts them. Because the closer blue team can get in terms of gold and XP, the worse off they will be. So it just makes sense to keep forcing team fights. And if someone on blue team split pushes, then you just win harder because you're so far ahead as is. Does blue team really ever do to you in this situation? Mercury feels completely worthless at this point. Can't really do much of anything. He dives in and should instantly get blown up. Tsukiyomi wins that 1v1 every single day of the week. Scylla's so far behind she can't do enough damage to actually blow up any of the people diving her. That's one of the biggest things she's usually good at, is blowing up the solo laner who's diving her, but she doesn't do anywhere near the damage to Dom, who's so far ahead right now compared to his opponent. Ooh, Kojan's ult is coming out off the mark though, not quite hitting anyone here. And it looks like dive on his face is happening. Tsukiyomi ult coming out here, and it looks like Aegis will be used. Tsukiyomi diving very heavily, and it looks like I'm a monster being used here off the mark, but it looks like Steve will fall down regardless. Zinfi taking a lot of damage, which is way too hard of a dive. DJ gets a big Thoth all down. Uncle Fable currently split pushing. It looks like Vash will fall down. Once again, I think bad targeting. I don't think he's the important target here. He's so behind. He's worthless as is, but he does fall down at Kojan's. They should be able to walk it back to this Fire Giant now. But instead, they might look for this T2 tower. No, they will look for Fire Giant. But Uncle Fable is split pushing down to the Phoenix here, and they will be forced to send someone back. Abrasive is back, but he can't quite get the back off in time. And instead, it looks like this Phoenix will fall down. Instead, the team's going to take their win to go for the Fire Giant here. But Athena just stopping and Abrasive from being able to back is shut down. Uncle Fable now walking away, looking to back here, getting stopped by the Fire Giant damage. Athena diving in, Zinfi is coming in as well, crush onto the Fire Giant. Looks like she should have secured it. Doesn't pop the crush to secure it. Dom gets the count. Athena misplay here by Zinfi. He easily could have stolen that with the crush. They didn't have any damage to take it away. And now on her being dove down, being dove upon by Smeef, and Smeef does get the solo kill onto Uncle Fable, and now overall just a win everywhere for red team. I don't really see how blue team gets back in at this point. There was a big opening right there on the Fire Giant, but they completely missed a chance, and now I think they just ruined their own chances of winning. I think game goes completely in favor of red team from this point on. Where do you get your next big win at? I don't think it goes with them, you're dead. Could have gotten the Phoenix, didn't get that. Could have stolen the Fire Giant, didn't get that. Red team's all finishing. Their builds while you're still on your T1 towers for your 4th item. You're so far behind this blue team. Where do you really come back from at this point? I think we're at the 99 percentile that like red team has 99% chance of winning here. Your support isn't as far ahead as you probably like to see, but I guess the red team's just not going to group up. They kind of lose. I mean, like, of course you can always lose by just playing really stupid and like 2-man pushing everything, but as long as red teams act like a bunch of idiots, they just group up and push down the lane. I think they just kind of win here. Mercury's so far behind. I think he's bringing Transcendence, and I hope to God he's not, because that's a waste of 9 only. Ooh, Studio off the mark, hitting absolutely nobody. Waste of an ult there. It looks like he might get caught out, but doesn't quite get caught out instead. Arthur split pushing, Honor split pushing. Now they're pushing down this middle Phoenix here. Instead, they're going to back off and go for right tower. Bit on the call from the red team. They could just rush down that Phoenix very quickly and took it. But instead, big fight here. I'm going to go at the Phoenix right now. Looking at the very low, dying very heavily. Not quite able to kill, but currently fighting 3v1. Does fall down. Finally gets shut down, but the red team getting 2 in return might not be too big of a win for red team here. Really, they're not targeting this Phoenix hard enough. Unstable force to jump out of there now. Minions targeting, they flooding in. It looks like Phoenix will fall down to red team. Red team very quickly burning it down. And now they're diving very heavily. Zinfi's taking a lot of damage. Zinfi is forced to dash out. Athena out as well. They should look for this mid tower now with the minions pushing up. But it looks like they might be looking to end the game here. Red team really should be looking here at this Phoenix with this huge wave pushing up. And take the next one they can. Phoenix went on very quickly here. And it looks like Phoenix will go down base of diving very heavily. And it looks like Zinfi Smith diving as well. Red team probably should back out now and reset while they can. I think they only have about 30 seconds left on Fire Giant. They could look to go for the right lane, but I think with 4v5 it's not quite the safest call in the world. They should just back up here, take the Pyromancer, back off, reset their newly found gold lead. Like, well, not newly found, but greater gold lead than they just had. And take the wins if they can. Honestly, good performance here out of the Scylla. Not quite able to get enough value, just not quite able to do enough though to carry your team through. When your solo laner King Arthur is on the 3rd to bottom player damage charts next to your support and your jungler, what do you do? When his player damage is half of that of the enemy solo laner, when your jungler is less than half of that of your opponent jungler, and only your carry is doing more work. Oh gosh, that's ear rape. Can you stop barking? You just anyways, like, where does the team come back in? Having more work. Raise ultimate is used onto the speed buff. I imagine he's looking for a target there, but doesn't get anyone. Fire Giant being forced down now by a red team. Blue team's not any really chance to respond to this. The 2 Phoenix is down. Currently being dove currently over here by this objective. Mercury taking a lot of damage, and the Mercury ult is being used here. Fight now happening down on the Speed taking a lot of damage. Speed being forced out very low now on her ult used. All these ultimates coming out, and he does fall down, but now red team's on their way with ult just off the mark. Dom uses his ult. Should be the rotation off. Kojin's ult does get off as well. Unfavorable extremely low. Looks like unfavorable shell is used for him to save his life. Dom ult used once again, and looks like unfavorable will fall down to the Thoth here. Kojin gets the kill onto the King Arthur, and now it's a 4v3. Byron should be folding in any second now. It looks like red team is in a very commanding presence here. I'm a monster use off the mark. Mercury alt use, I guess, is forced out, and it looks like Titan's down to 3 KHP. DJL4 getting another kill. Extremely low. Everyone down on the side of blue team, and red team will take this game 2-0 for the Prospect Games. Very dominant performance out of Domum and DJL4 these past 2 games. Zinfi is doing very good as well, but just his team just not quite able to match that same presence as their opposing laners. Honestly, feeling kind of like a jungle diff this game, and a little bit of a solo diff. That's about where the biggest difference came out, in my opinion.